gonna watch our video when we bought our first house.
Oh gosh. Sorry. Did that hit anybody?
We have shared way too much information, spitting their tea all over their computers.
Y'all are having computers that you need wiped down this morning because it's probably all sticky. Okay.
Oh gosh, that made you carry me.
Threshold.
You couldn't have carried me last time. I feel like at this point, we were the most ourselves.
We closed on our house today and we got the key.
Oh, how wonderful. Where y'all going to dinner?
Who cares what you think?
Our kids would like us so much better if we were like we were back in the day. Like, how can we loosen up again? If y'all don't sit down and quit fighting with each other. I'm happier after watching that.
I'm
oh
like,
my
all
god,
laughing
can we
and
sell our
smiling.
house so we can get out of it?
Check yourself. Re-elect yourself.
It's gotta go down a little bit. Like, it really does.
Trust yourself.
It really does. Oh, look at all that space.
Right there.
Right there.
Right there.
I don't know, I can't see. You don't have the screen up. Are you being inappropriate?
Yeah.
Okay. I washed my hair today, guys. Y'all excited about that? I know y'all don't care, but I am.
Like a fried chicken.
It feels so good. You know how you just, people will be like, oh, it looks fine, but you just feel nasty.
I haven't washed my hair, that's why I'm wearing a hat. Boys are so fortunate. Hey guys, what's up?
I know, I've been getting ready for like an hour this morning and you got up, stumbled into the bathroom, peed, holding onto the wall like this.
You said, aren't you glad that wall's there?
Like this video, if your significant other holds onto the wall when they pee, and hopefully they're a dude, because if they're a girl and they have to hold onto the wall,
I've really, honestly, thought about like installing one of those handles.
probably be a good idea. But you peed and like I heard you brush your teeth and I was like in the middle of brushing my hair. I turned around and you had all your clothes on and your shoes and you're like, okay, must be nice.
Well, I did have my clothes kind of semi laid out the night before.
Yeah, that's true.
That's another habitual tactic that
Good
you inherit throughout the years of growing up with family.
Yes. Hey y'all,
Hey,
welcome
what's
to the
up?
video.
Welcome back to our debt disaster. I'm Cullen and this is my wife Katie.
Hey, I'm
And
Katie.
she's not a debt disaster. We are both debt disasters.
Yes, we are. We are working through it and we are determined to get through it. If you haven't watched any of our videos and this is your first one to watch, then go back and watch them because we have shared way too much information about money. We are walking through our journey of getting out of debt and overcoming this hurdle in our lives, sharing the real numbers, the real progress, the real processes, mental, physical, emotional, monetary, financial. Basically, when we first got married, we went through Financial Peace University, like the first year of our marriage, paid off, we had a minimal like $5,000 amount of debt, paid that off and used cash envelopes for a while, then just used debit cards for a while. We had 2 miscarriages back to back in 2013, had our rainbow baby in 2014, another baby in 2016. Cullen's dad passed away in 2015. In between all of that, and your grandmother passed away in 2014. Your dad lived with us while he was ill. There was a lot of life stress going on, kind of major life events, trauma, and we got off track basically. And I think according to comments and things we heard from other people, it happens and it's happened to a lot of people. So
that was the quick credit card transaction of our life. We need to check the interest on that statement after we're done with this because
exactly.
That was
That's
a
kind
very
of the brief rundown.
Synopsis.
Yes, that was a very brief rundown. You can go hear the whole story, but I just kind of want to give a little bit of background before we jump into today's, because we're going to watch our video when we bought our first house. That was back in 2012.
Yeah, yesterday's we bought,
yesterday we
bought this house. No, in yesterday's video we reacted to buying this house and it was just...
It was on our closing day.
Speaking of numbers, we talked about our mortgage payment. You'll go back and watch that. I saw a lot of y'all have like...
people spitting their tea all over their computers.
Y'all are having computers that you need wiped down this morning because it's probably all sticky. And real quick, also another update. Don't stand people up when you want to meet them on Facebook Market. I had to go freaking drive. It was a 30-minute round trip and got stood up. Second time that's happened.
You can get a vibe, and like we didn't get a bad vibe from this girl, but it was just kind of like a I hope she's serious, you know, kind of thing. She didn't show up.
She called in sick to work.
She said she was having car trouble and she didn't come. So
like my dog ate my homework, yeah. But she was the one that wanted to meet up too. She like initiated it. She said, "Is 9 o'clock too early for you?" I was like, "No, that's perfect," because we had another showing this morning. By the way. Early showing. So it worked out great. And so I was like, oh, this is gonna line up perfectly in the timeline of events. And then
She had too much fun last night. No, I don't know what her situation was. Who knows? Could have been something we
could have literally had car trouble.
Can't judge people, whatever.
When you get the vibe,
yes. Anyways, it's been interesting going back and looking through our, Ada wants to make her appearance on our video as usual. It's been interesting going back and looking through these old videos and seeing the changes. I know many of y'all who have watched us for years have noticed the changes in us over the past couple of years. We started vlogging in 2011 when we moved to Tallahassee for me to do an internship for grad school. Moved back to Birmingham, Alabama in 2012, bought our first house. And did it basically the right way. I will say it was a little bit Dave-ish because it was a 30-year mortgage. But we did have our down payment. We didn't have any other debt. We had a savings. Everything else was in line. It just was a 30-year mortgage.
It was our first house. Like we rented for a year while we were in Tallahassee, but it was our first like house purchase. So as you can imagine, we'll get into it here in just a minute. The excitement was probably a little more boisterous than...
Well, we were in a whole different place.
A whole different place.
There's just been a lot of things in life in the past like 3 or 4 years. I don't know, that's part of it. We've been doing this vlogging thing for a long time and y'all have watched us go through a ton of stuff if you've been around for a while, but we wanted to watch this video and kind of just react to it and see the differences in when we bought this house that we're about to watch versus the one we bought in 2016.
Once again, letting the dogs out while she's doing that, I gotta color in another line of our Get Current here, working our way up with all of the Facebook stuff that we've been selling. Trying to get current as quick as possible.
And in good news, just because, I don't know, something I wouldn't typically like share on YouTube or on the vlog, but since we're sharing all of our stuff and I assume we're gonna be sharing all of our money information as we go along and we're about to be sharing about our budget before too long. As we mentioned, our income is kind of variable and sometimes unpredictable as far as working with other companies that pay us kind of as contractor or freelance or whatever we're doing, working with brands. We don't always receive payments exactly when they say we're going to. So like when you're trying to go on a pay yourselves on the first of the month type thing, it's kind of hard. And so this is a company that we have a history of receiving late payments from them. We were relying on to be able to pay ourselves for the beginning of February, and the payment did come through today like it was supposed to, praise Jesus, to our business account. So we do have to wait a few days for it to be payrolled into our personal account. And so at that point, we are going to share our budget for the month.
Yes.
But
when y'all wanted to see the live or a overhead shot or just like a bird's eye view, fly on the wall.
Yeah, several people were
scenario.
Like, yes,
let's do a budget meeting. So we may have to do that.
I
think
I'm kind of afraid of that.
As far as the payment coming in on time, I think a lot of it has to do with our persistence this time more than
last time I was persistent. I checked in 3 times and confirmed this is coming in on December 12th, right?
I just feel like in the past we've been like real,
literally 3 times.
Real lazy as far as like
in the past.
Well, we'll get it when we get it, and then it's like it's Christmas present when we do get it, and then we already had the money anyway, you know, to survive. But
as we've talked about previously, as a business, you should keep enough money in your business account to cover for payroll to still go through if a payment is late. But obviously we are where we are because we weren't doing things exactly the right way. So we're trying to get it back on track and get to a point where we're not sitting here holding our breath all day waiting on a payment to come through that they said they would come through.
February budget coming up soon.
So this video is from August 21st, 2012.
This is when I used to number them. I used to number the videos. This was video number 440, and it's called Happy Homeowners. There's an iCard up in the top if you want to go check it out for yourself. But let's get into it.
440, video number 440, this was 2012. If y'all are bored this weekend, we clearly have like a ton of videos on our channel you can go back and watch. Okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
I'm excited. Little headphone warning there.
The excitement.
Oh, the good old jingle.
Golly,
Who remembers that?
I thought that was the coolest intro.
It brings me happy.
I was a little crazier back then.
That's Cullen for you right there.
It was.
It is currently 12:35.
Look how excited you are.
But what happened? It got bumped up to 1.
Look at that Bieber hair.
Ask off even earlier, and it was.
That's the old Jetta.
Oh yeah. I was busy at work and you had to close early.
We're getting our carpet installed tomorrow.
Are you carpet installed tomorrow?
Actually goes through. If it doesn't, then I'm screwed. Thanks for all the prayers and the tweets and the thoughts and everything that I've been getting.
Those old glasses.
Been blowing up.
That old audio on the old
so
camera.
Thank y'all for everything. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to us.
I remember it was like
done this. So,
so up close.
It's kind of a big deal. This right here, you give them your whole life history.
Yes,
and then
you do.
Yeah.
they have to know every freaking day something happens. I mean, it's like, I can't even work the gas station. Why are you freaking?
I can't even go to the
bar.
gas station. I'm telling you,
Seriously, it's
hooker.
crazy.
Look at you.
They run a tight ship on your butt. These mortgage companies do. So,
I had no idea how in depth it was.
No.
They've been burned so many times that
This was our first house purchase, so we were like, why do I need all this information?
While we were driving here.
we just set up the cable and internet. So we
Oh my
can
gosh.
post our vlogs
There's your
onto
paid
the
for no
YouTube.
car payment car, and then I was in my no payment car payment car.
Yep.
The doggy, so she can
Look how
run
little
Our
she
dog, she's
was.
paid for.
Ready for
Aww.
the tour?
We didn't even have it, Emma, yet.
Yeah.
Should we give them a pre-furnished
I don't know.
tour?
We'll just show them a little bit of it. I mean, we can show them whatever.
Yeah.
We'll show them. We'll show you guys. You'll
We'll
see.
show you what's up, yo!
We'll show
God,
you
we
what's up.
we
We'll
just,
see.
can I just make
Look
a
at that, I'm
comment?
matching. I'm matching. See, I'm thrifty. I keep the same
Oh
shirt.
my gosh, that's why you said that earlier. You're like, people are saying we're not in our old videos. Look at you. You didn't bring me a black shirt that I can't match too.
Hey, yeah, you should have been wearing your red necklace.
I don't know. It's just interesting to see our difference in like,
Enthusiasm.
and it's not even like one house versus the next. I just feel like the mental like stuff that happened between 2012 and today, or even 2017 when we bought this house, it's just like, it's just crazy to see how stuff affects you in life.
We didn't have 2 kids. All we had was that little black dog.
But literally just kids don't change you that
No,
much.
no.
They really don't. And seeing like the journey I've been on the past year of overcoming so many things in my brain and in my life, it's like, it's just crazy. I don't know. I can't even explain what I'm trying to say. It's all in my head. But
I feel like I was a total different, like, I felt like I had to yell to even like talk to a camera. I don't know. I still feel like I have to yell sometimes when I talk to cameras, but like,
well,
kind of like,
that's kind of how vlogging was then.
Yeah.
You kind of, I don't know if the audio was bad on cameras or what, but it was just, we were just tended to be loud. But one thing is, I feel like we were so much more ourselves at this point. And I feel like we, over the years, have gotten to a point where we've felt like we had to minimize who we are a little bit, you know?
Don't hurt anybody's feelings by saying something.
Right, or like
say
all
something
the-
to make sure the other person on the other end is happy versus
Or like, God,
no, this is what I
why is
think.
he so crazy? Why are you so crazy? Like, oh my gosh, y'all are, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the feeling of being, I don't know, I just feel like
Well, the more your public perception changes via the comments and stuff like that. Like we'd get comments about like not eating something off the counter. How gross is that? And you know, and then so next time you go to think about it, and I've heard other vloggers talk about this. Like you can already predict the comments almost as you're saying a sentence on the video before it's edited, and so you kind of skirt and go
You're
a different
like,
route
I won't
versus
eat this.
just
Oh,
saying
shoot.
what's on your freaking mind.
Right.
This was before we started getting a
we
lot of
had way
comments.
fewer viewers at
Yeah.
this point. I feel like at this point though, we had just moved back from Tallahassee. We had lived there for an entire year, knew nobody other than my internship class. We literally knew nobody. So we had a year. That's when we really bonded with the YouTube community,
Right.
made some new YouTube friends and all that stuff. But I feel like at this point, we were the most ourselves as we've ever been in our marriage, because we had that time to be ourselves and be with ourselves, make our own plans, do our own things. And I don't know. That was
nice.
It was a really fun
Yeah.
year and a really good time for our mental
I would get
state.
like random calls. I think my grandmother would forget that I was out of town or something, and she'd be like, I need you to come pick me up or help me get to the post office or something. I'm like, grandmother, I'm in Tallahassee, Florida. Oh, okay, well, I'll just check with somebody else. And then like weight off my shoulders. I didn't feel any pressure. Like I was so far away that I didn't have to make any other excuse. Like not saying I would always make
Not that
excuses.
you shouldn't want to
Not that I
help your
shouldn't want to,
grandmother, but
if I'm right in the middle of something and it's just expected that you drop everything and come take your grandmother to the post office, then that's what you did. And, you know.
I just talked about this in my podcast that just went up, and about being people pleasers. And
Yeah.
it's like, not that you shouldn't be willing to help your grandmother, because some of y'all are like, geez, what a jerk, you don't want to help his grandmother.
No,
to the
it
post
wasn't
office.
anything like
It's
that.
not about that. It's just about the fact of, if you are actually unavailable, being allowed to say no is a big deal.
No is an answer. You don't have to.
It's a complete sentence.
A complete sentence. Yeah. You don't have to say no because I'm doing this, and this, and then I've got. Oh, and then the kids were busy, and then we got to do that after that, and
because that turns into, oh well, I can help you finish that later, or well, don't you? Yeah. So anyway, that's part of it. But I feel like we really kind of got to be into who we are, which is interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Carpet installed tomorrow. They were able to come tomorrow. Get the cable installed tomorrow.
I was excited for that carpet.
I was too.
We had to get a refrigerator.
That old carpet was nasty. That guy's shoes are still in the front porch.
I remember that.
Where are we? In the parking garage.
Shake Carl reference right there.
Bring me.
That's now.
Oh gosh, I made you carry me.
Threshold.
Okay.
You couldn't have carried me last time. I don't think that was even enough.
I said, here, you film. I just walked through the door on this other house.
Oh, look how happy we were with our double chins.
That's just crazy. It's more emotional this time.
Hey guys, this is the house. There's your view. Here's the kitchen.
Oh, look how cozy it was.
I know.
There's that green paint.
Echoey in here.
We totally should have painted that sooner before we left.
Here's our kitchen floor.
Well, we had never owned a house. This was our.
Oh, there goes Captain Crunch.
Do you like it?
Oh,
Oh, we didn't have a fence yet.
it's in the backyard, yeah.
I still feel like we're here visiting.
We did get a
Like,
fence.
Oh, you stepped in the wet spot. Gotta get that fixed.
That ended up actually not being something. I
Ah,
had
she was
to
so
fix.
young.
Look how black Ada was. She didn't have all her gray hair.
What do you like?
There's the master bedroom, the carpet that definitely needed replacing.
Look how curly her tail was. She was so happy.
She was. I haven't seen her tail curled like that in, like, all the way up under.
Oh!
Oh my gosh. The closet.
Yep, this is all Cullen's. We don't need to shoot Donnie and Dart up
I mean, look, we're already like 2 minutes in and we're already like just running around the house amuck as opposed to like trying to justify
This
it.
one will probably just be guessed.
Versus this house.
Which is because we were like excited. We were
Yeah.
like, let's show them everything.
We didn't stand there and go, well, there's a wet spot in the backyard and then we gotta replace the carpet. Like we just quickly.
We didn't care what people think. People thought. It was our decision.
We need to put these in our cars now. And I can
There's something about having a garage door opener for the first time that's
Look at you,
really
you're
special.
like, oh yay.
And then,
And there's Brooks.
oh, Brooks, yeah.
No.
All right.
That's our nephew Bennett, who looks surprisingly just like Brooks. Or Brooks looks like him. They came over. Like, we didn't even share this much excitement with our own kids
No.
in the new house we moved into.
No.
That's our niece Emily. Oh my gosh, she just
Look
turned
how
8.
little.
Look how tiny. Oh.
8 or 9?
9. 11.
Mother,
9. Oh, 9. Yeah.
I'm good.
G-Mother, speaking
Oh,
of.
this is funny. Y'all gotta just
More
listen.
clothes. Look, the day we get back and bought our house, she needs help in the attic.
Just gonna
That's
call
so
and tell you we
funny.
closed on our house today and we got the key.
Oh, how wonderful. Where are y'all going to eat dinner?
I don't know yet. I think we're going to Chili's. We got a
She's
gift card
a-
to Chili's,
Look
so
at her
we're
using a
just
gift
gonna
card.
do a celebratory dinner with me and Katie.
I'm about to die to see that place.
Well, don't do that.
Well, no, I don't really want to die. I'm going to the hospital, though, and have my eyes operated on by Thursday.
I'm this little G-Mother.
So anxious to see it. What are you going to do for the patio for the day? No, not for the patio, for the day.
She's already wanting to know what our deck's gonna look like with the. And I said bird beaters.
Aren't you going to have to do something to replace, do something with the foot? I know Aunt John and Gerald said you're going to have to do some repair work on the
Look at her already worried about what we're gonna have to repair. You don't have to worry about that, G-Mother.
That's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, we just got to get a fence for little Ada Bell. Here, we are homeowners, and I just wanted to tell you first.
Well, thank
That
you
is so
much.
fun.
That's absolutely wonderful.
Oh, she was a hot
we can
mess.
get you a room downstairs that you can stay in.
Oh, really?
How foreshadowing though, her son stayed there when
That
he
is
was diagnosed
true.
with cancer.
Hey, I've got to see that.
They're going through it all.
Yeah, it walks right in. You don't even have to go up any stairs. You just walk straight into the garage, and there's a room and a bathroom, and you can stay in there anytime you want to.
Oh, I think that's I don't tell anybody else that, because I don't want somebody else there when I want to.
Not to mention, she only lived like 10 minutes from us.
So scandalous.
The Cullen and
Keeping
Katie
those
bed and
secrets.
breakfast.
Uh-huh.
I'm thrilled to death that you called me, Sugar. I really
Sugar.
am. I rode over there trying to find out where it could possibly be.
She drove over there to try to look for it.
Damn many
Lord.
houses over
She didn't know there were so damn many houses.
there. That was it.
We had to hide from everybody on the internet and stuff.
Well, good.
She has no idea what that meant.
I'm so glad for both of you. I know y'all are going to enjoy it. I really will.
Say hey to YouTube.
Well, I'll be anxious to see it sometime.
She
She's
totally.
like, leave me alone.
She's like, what's YouTube?
But say hey to YouTube. We're going to put you on YouTube talking. So just say hey YouTube.
Okay. Hey, YouTube.
There you go. Everybody on YouTube likes G-Mother.
Oh, okay.
I tried to explain to her what YouTube was before she passed away.
G-Mother likes all of the children, too.
I think she might have gotten it.
She got it.
I think she
Fun
got it.
conversation with G-Mother. For those of y'all that don't know who G-Mother is, why not? She is my grandmother, and we call her G-Mother.
She was a
Hey,
gangster.
thanks for sticking around and watching us kind of running the house.
Was that it for the house tour? Like, that was how quick, like, we didn't really even show the rooms or anything of the other ones.
Oh yeah, no we didn't.
And then we just go play and have fun at Walmart. That's insane. Like, that's just how, I think, more humbled we were at the time.
Well, it's like I said about the last video, how I was like, I didn't really even want to make a big deal about everything because
Right.
we weren't flashy, like show it off type people.
We literally just went in there, ran around, did some spins, jumped up on the tub, and ran around with the dog.
But we were like, this is what people do on YouTube. Everybody wants to see every room and how it is and all that. And I will say that YouTube has evolved in a sense to like people actually, it's kind of like house hunters. Like
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
walk through and you want to see everything. People
Yeah.
are genuinely interested. And at that point, people didn't care that much, you know, I guess. I don't know.
It's just crazy
it's
to
different.
think about the
We didn't
two
talk about any
different
features.
videos of this house homeowner house tour or whatever
Totally.
versus the last one, which is all just like, look.
Well,
Look at the refrigerator that didn't fit over here that well.
There was
and-
so much
oh my
justification
gosh. Yes.
in that, in the buying of this house video, and so much explaining of like, well, we have this room because we're gonna use it for this.
And in this video, it was like, I don't care what you think. I'm just gonna run around my house real quick, show you that we are homeowners now, and now let's go out to eat dinner using a gift card that we had, and then we ran around and jumped in
And
the
we
balls
showed
at
our-
Walmart. I think this is where I got in the ball.
Oh, yeah,
game.
can we keep
my
watching
gosh.
it? Can we?
Oh, I
Can we
did.
keep watching
Look.
it?
Yeah, let's keep going. Okay.
Well, because I think too, like we showed them our favorite parts. Like we were like, oh, this is cool, and this is this, and this is that, and we were just so excited. We were like, I just want to just run around in here.
I bet people watching for the first time were like, wait, they only have a 2-bedroom house? You know, because we literally only showed, we didn't show the downstairs room, the downstairs bathroom. We showed
it was
them
a 4-bedroom house.
The garage, the master, and
it was
the backyard.
So like several
That's
people
crazy.
have asked like, why did we move? And as far as for us, the layout was not really exactly what we wanted. All the bedrooms were on one level, and it was
like a
master bedroom,
square,
the 2
essentially.
kids. Yeah, it was just like a square house. The master bedroom, the 2 kids' rooms, and then the laundry was upstairs with that. There was a master bathroom and then a bathroom on the hall that the 2 kids shared. And that it was very small in size up there. I mean, our new house, hopefully it was gonna be small too. But when they were babies, doing laundry and then like us and walking around and whatever, it just wasn't as conducive to what we were looking for. And then the main level was kind of open. I mean, it was like a big square. So there was like the middle of the house had the bathroom in it, and then you walked around to like the dining room, the living room, the den, the kitchen. You could see the den from the kitchen, which was nice. The layout just wasn't conducive for us. Then the downstairs in the basement, there was an extra bedroom that we used like as a guest bedroom. Actually, it was a junk room for like
It was a junk
2
room.
years.
Well, and, that junk is the main other attribute to it all. Is like we just felt like we were
didn't
busting
think
at the
we
seams.
had enough space.
We didn't think when we would be like, I would like move back in there if I could.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in that exact same house
Right.
because of the layout, but like that size is like perfect. I mean, the more you think about it.
And I think we also weren't ashamed to be excited about it. Like I felt like it was okay to be excited because we did it the right way. Like I feel like with this house, I was like, felt guilty even telling people that we bought this house because I was like, I know that we probably shouldn't have, you know,
Yeah,
I don't know. Okay.
Okay, so then we went to Chili's
This is our second appetizer.
and like we ate 2 appetizers.
We ate mozzarella sticks. We were starving. It's been so crazy today because the closing got pushed up to 1.
Have you even told him about all that?
I think so, yeah.
Your hair though.
My My hair was a hot mess.
I loved it.
I'm starting to get the flare on the sides here.
You look so different now, though, really.
I wasn't like nervous, bad nervous. It was just that whole, I don't know. It's like somebody called.
See, I even said I wasn't a nervous person. I didn't really have anxiety until my kids were born.
She's like, felt like I was stealing from the collection plate, and they're about to come back and say that they needed more money or that we forgot to send our dental records.
Stealing from the collection plate.
Like, there's been so many things that keep coming up, and it's that feeling. I'm like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong, getting all this money and doing this loan and Anyway, so I just
little did we know, we just
I mean, I was
open-handedly accepted twice, 3 times as much with 2 separate loans.
You can tell though that we were so much more conscious.
Hesitant.
Well, we were
cautious.
so much more conscious of our money. Conscious of how much we had, how much we didn't need to go in debt, how much we didn't need to spend. We were using a gift card because I had finished internship and I was in between starting my next job. So we were living with my parents for a month while we were waiting for our house to close. So we just had income from your job. So we were trying to save up money. Obviously we didn't have bills while we were living with my parents for a month, but it was, you can just hear a difference in our mentality about it all.
So crazy.
So I've just been like literally like
like shaking.
I already told y'all this morning I had to go change clothes and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
my
change
whole
clothes.
Monday just got started
I
off
missed that.
completely rocked. We got the carpet.
I think we had like some bigwigs coming into our office or something, and I forgot.
Yeah,
And they sent me home because I wasn't wearing
the right
a
clothes.
collared shirt.
Which also,
Addicted to blog. They're addicted to blogging. Blogophobics. Blogaholics.
Vlogaholics. And then I just like shove onion rings. See? All those that are been
and you wouldn't do that now because people are like, oh my god, that's so gross. But like, who
I've been
cares? That's
slurping up
you.
ramen on this one, like, then we've been eating on, but see, we eat on vlogs.
But we probably would have apologized and been all like, oh.
That's true, like, oh, Colin, stop, somebody's gonna think that's gross, or their kids watching is gonna throw up or something. Like, who cares what you think? Like, literally, why do we care what other people think so much?
Our kids would like us so much better if we were like we were back in the day. Like, how can we loosen up again?
Let them just throw ranch across the restaurant or smear it all
No,
over
I'm
their
not talking
face.
about loosen up in that sense. I mean mentally, and I think I'm working on that. I'm getting there, but it's just, I feel like we're always so uptight lately. Maybe.
I think it's, yes, and there's mornings when I wake up on the right side of the bed and I'll come in here and I'll start shaking my tush or something, and you can just see them kind of laugh hysterically because it's out of the norm. It's like, I've never seen Daddy do like that, or I don't know, I feel like that at least. I'm like, why don't I just dance around more like I used to? And granted, I still do a little bit more than the normal dad, I would assume.
Yeah,
but
no,
like,
you do. But you're definitely, I don't know,
I'm more like, we got to get out the door and get your clothes on. I was like that this morning.
That is true. But I mean, obviously there is more pressure and stress and tension due to financial stuff right now. And I think probably, I don't know if it had been different at the old house. I feel like we were still a little bit overwhelmed and stressed at the old house too, but I think it's primarily for me, I feel like it's the other people's opinions, letting that get into my head. I'm not talking about just YouTube either. I'm talking about life and the whole like difference, the mental shift of the whole codependency thing, feeling like I have to do what I'm gonna do to make somebody else happy. I need to share all my drama with somebody else and not just handle it myself, that I'm not good enough to handle things on my own, that I definitely am not an adult who can make my own decisions. And a lot of that, obviously all those things are lies that you tell yourself that I've been overcoming, but I don't know.
I think a lot of it too, I mean, a good representation of that whole thing you're just talking about is your journey of gratitude over perfection that you're doing on Instagram. If you aren't following that, she's what day are you on, 100 something? She's doing a year of gratitude over versus perfection. Whenever you started, it was like, why do I care so much about making this picture perfect? You know, you started, that's when after you
I was like, I'm just gonna post something.
I'm just gonna post something.
There's something to be grateful for in every single day, even with the stresses and all that stuff. And that's kind of the focus of it all. And in my head, I see a lot of things that can't coherently come out of my mouth to explain them. If you followed along or listened to my podcast and stuff, you would understand it. And I know a lot of y'all comment or you're like, yes, oh my gosh, this is going on with me and I can't believe that I let this take over my life. But
all right, so we ate dinner. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Okay, this is funny. It cuts straight to the next clip. And there I go. forgot about the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I see a line of golf carts, buggies, shopping carts.
You said vlog me.
I said vlog me.
No. Cullen.
See, I don't even ask her if this is okay. I just say vlog me. And I literally am walking across.
And I'm known for.
We need a shovel for you to dig that trench.
Oh yeah, we'll get that later.
What are we talking
I just jumped off a freaking row of buggies. You said, do we need a shovel to dig that trench?
Well, and when you started getting on there, I was like, no, Cullen, don't do that. My famous line is Cullen inappropriate. But he still did it anyway.
But how much fun was that? Like, that was fun. It didn't hurt anybody. It didn't hurt any. I could have hurt myself.
And then once we had kids, I started worrying way too much about what other people thought, and then we were gonna get in trouble.
I used to go into Home Goods or At Home and jump off the mattresses and stuff. Like,
good, Tommy, good. Water guns. Here, hold this.
here, hold this. Like, I don't even tell you what I'm about to do. Something just happens in my brain and then I just did it. Look, I get on a skateboard and start just flying.
Wait, what's this from?
Granted, even if we had kids with us, though, we probably wouldn't have been doing all this stuff.
You gotta put this
Well, see, I think this would have. Look, Katie said you gotta
Your
put this
cuts
on.
are good, and I like how we don't talk. We just like.
It just cut straight to it.
Barbie Hornos.
Oh gosh. See, but if I did that with the kids around, Brooks would be wanting to do it. He would be falling. He'd start crying.
Something. Maybe it was a tweet from one of you guys.
They would start squeezing the little horn.
It was not.
And then
from
I'd
you
get
guys,
annoyed.
So never mind.
Yeah.
That's just a bad mindset to have. Like, let them have fun.
Well, it's almost okay. So
I just said I want to ride that so bad, the cars.
it's almost like you took over how I am or was with you. Like, Cullen, don't do that. Stop. Don't do that. You're gonna get us in trouble. Whatever. And then now you're like that with the kids. And whereas previously, if we'd had the kids, you'd have been like, hey, get on this. I'm gonna push you all the way down to the other rail. Let's see how far you go.
Yeah.
You know. And then
I've taken on more of a dad role, I think, instead of like, but I guess you want to be like, there's a fine line between best friend and dad, or friend and dad, or friend and coach when I was coaching diving. Like, I don't know.
I feel like a lot of it is, I don't know, the whole like us feeling a little bit, with the whole like kind of codependency thing coming in with our kids and feeling like we can't mess them up, we can't say no to them, but we also need to keep them in line. And then we also like will give in when they start begging for something instead of just being like previously if he just started trying to hog the horn, he'd be like, come on, let's go. And then we would have just kept going.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have even been an ordeal. I don't know. You can't say
it makes me want to go like have fun with them now. Like, let's go to the store tonight, not buy anything, but just ride everything.
This conversation in my head with myself, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna be the best mom ever. We're gonna have so much fun. And then they get in the car and I'm like, if y'all don't sit down and quit fighting with each other.
Yes, like right now, everything's good.
We should vlog later what actually happens tonight because it's probably not gonna be exciting. We're probably gonna be like, okay, whatever. Y'all just sit down and be quiet because you're really being just annoying.
Yeah, so crazy. Just go back and see yourself this way. I don't know.
Does it make you wish we'd had kids sooner?
Kind of, sorta. Not really, because we did try to have kids sooner, and that's the thing.
A year soon, yeah.
Like, we were on a 5-year plan, it turned into a 7-year plan, and
right.
Just not necessarily. I think we had kids when we were supposed to, but like.
No, I know we did.
I think the whole like fact that you're responsible for that child's life now makes you grow up a little bit and not jump around on shopping carts and potentially break your leg, because then I wouldn't be able to bring you a bottle or something to help you feed the baby, or you know. Like.
Well, but it's yeah, but it's also the whole thing of with the codependency stuff of feeling like their behavior represents you so much, and I think that's why we get so stressed when they are doing something that's not appropriate or when they're acting out or throwing a tantrum, and it gives us so much anxiety because we feel like it's literally like a reflection of us.
People in the public are like, what is wrong with those parents? They don't have a grip on their child.
And I've talked about this before too, of how it's more important to be aware of what your kids are feeling or what they're needing, like why they're tantruming. If they're tantruming because they just want like a toy, then that's different. Half the time it's because they like have an emotional need or something. And
you've been a lot better about that than me in the most recent months. There's been times we've been in public, and even at the airport on the way home from Orlando, like Gaines was just breaking down. Granted, she was exhausted, stressed, you know, all the above. And we were in the security line, and she was just, And I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, I gotta get her to shut up. What can I get her? What can I get her to get her distracted? And Kate was like, just ignore it. Like, so literally for 10 minutes, she sat there and just, and we were just like.
But she had some emotions she needed to get out. And it's
right.
like, it's damaging
and then
when you're like, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal, but it is to them,
right,
you know?
Right.
And if you just let them work it out.
You've even said, you can cry because I know you're sad about this, but if you want to do that, go up to your room. And she'll just stomp up to her room and you hear her just put her face in her pillow and go,
Now, I will say, I haven't sent her to, or like to have her go to her room to cry just for crying.
No,
but
no.
Because she'll stand there sometimes and just scream, and I'm like, it sounds like you need some time by yourself to calm down.
Right.
This is not punishment. I'm not sending you to your room because you're in trouble for crying. I want you to be able to express your emotions. But if you need to scream, that's fine. You can go somewhere to your room where you can be by yourself. We won't bother you, and you come on out when you're ready.
And 2 minutes later or something, she'll be at the top of the steps and she'll be like, Mommy,
I feel better now.
I feel better now. I'm calmed down. And we're like, okay, well, come on down whenever you're ready.
And as an adult, I do that too. The other night I was like, I need you to just come in here for a minute and help, and I need to just like go to my room and be by myself for a minute. Like, adults need to do that too.
It's not punishment. Timeout has been transitioned into like, you're going to timeout if you don't listen to me. But timeout needs to be like time out of the day that you need to like meditate, recenter yourself, take deep breaths. It shouldn't be a punishment thing, although we threaten it as that more than not.
Yes.
All right, so we ran through Walmart. We're doing this. This is when I get in the ball pit right here.
Vlogging this.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not vlogging this.
You're embarrassing.
I was on another level. I probably had a margarita or something to celebrate our home.
Yeah, probably at the Chili's. I don't know who's calling me right now.
Oh look, there's a white ball with blue dots.
Oh my gosh.
How foreshadowing is that to know that Brooks wanted a blue ball with white dots for Christmas this year?
That's so crazy.
Is that what it feels like coming out the womb?
You're so crazy.
Now we're throwing frisbees.
We didn't even care what other people
Like,
thought.
we're
Like, we
literally
were having
in
fun.
the aisle
We
throwing
weren't hurting
frisbees.
anybody. We weren't messing anything up.
Ooh, what?
Look at you in your business attire, like just closed on a house.
Get that Barbie sign.
I'd come home from work.
Oh my gosh, we were insane. What were we thinking? What are you doing? Oh, I said get over there to catch a football. Look at your face.
I'm like, oh gosh, okay.
I threw, oh gosh.
Sorry.
Did that hit anybody?
Why didn't you catch it?
Oh my gosh.
Why didn't you catch it?
Back on the boat.
And then I crawl out on the buggies. I wonder how many people were watching me, like saying this guy's on drugs or something. Oh, there he's crazy.
But then I didn't care. You're never gonna see that guy again.
No.
Does it matter? No.
And if I do, he'll remember me for crawling on the buggy.
Oh man.
Oh, wow.
So that's what y'all missed if you're new and you didn't watch our videos in the old days. I mean, I see now why people didn't want to watch us last year, or the past couple years. All the comments of like, oh, I left for a couple years because y'all just weren't the same. I see.
This makes me just want to go jump off some stuff now.
It makes you want to move back to Tallahassee.
Yeah,
like,
that too.
maybe we should reconsider moving to the beach.
That's true.
I mean, not that Tallahassee solved all our problems. Like I said before, if you can't find happiness where you are, blah, blah, blah. But
I think just getting to where we are just a tight-knit family and like actually, kind of like we've said, like when we go on these trips and stuff, we're in a small room and we have the most fun together.
Well, so many people have said too, there's something about like kind of having to start over or having to, you know, if you do relocate, having to learn a new place together. Like, you know, in Tallahassee, we were like, oh, I figured out there's a shortcut to the Target. You gotta go this way. And just like having to figure that stuff out together is interesting. I don't know.
And like getting out and walking the dog, and I'd make those montages with the, we used to have to get a bike to walk the dog because she would want to run so much.
That dog
was crazy.
The dog that jumps up here all the time, she's crazy.
I'd hold a leash in one hand and help hold my bike and just stroll down the
lived
street.
on like a little dead end street, and when you went out of it, it was like a busy main road. So you couldn't even keep up with her to run with her. Like she wanted to sprint. She got husky in her.
It was crazy. That was our reflection and our reaction to watching our first home buying experience. Hope you enjoyed it. Go back and watch some of those old videos.
I'm happier after watching that. I'm like,
we're like all laughing
can we
and
sell our
smiling.
house so we can get out of here?
I'm literally like, can we go to Walmart tonight? Like I want to like.
Sure, I understand.
I I said literally, not Siri.
Siri said, I'm not sure I
She's
understand.
like, no, you're in debt. Don't leave the house.
Siri's like, I'm not sure I understand. You said you want to go to Walmart but not buy anything?
Right? Yeah, that's crazy. We were totally
Wait, did
different.
we go in there to buy anything that night? Doesn't look like it.
We literally did not come out with anything.
did.
I think we just went in there to throw a frisbee and climb on buggies.
Oh no, we said we went to get a new key made. That's what it was.
Oh,
So we got a new
yeah,
key made. But
yeah.
look at us. We didn't go in there wanting to buy everything in
We
the
didn't
store.
buy anything.
Like
we got a
we
new
would've
key
done
made
now.
and we left.
Yep.
How crazy is that?
I'm so thankful for this. It kind of makes
Yes.
me, I'm like, we need to vlog more. Because we haven't been like vlogging our lives lately, and I feel like we need to do that a little bit more, but.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all might not see us in front of these cabinets or something.
Always.
Always, but yeah, we'll throw up a
Oh man.
vlog here in the
If we
next
can have
few or
some
something.
fun. We're kind of hustling and gazelling right now, so it's hard to fit in a little bit of like carefree relaxation. Dang,
can't wait
wanna
to get
go
back to that mindset.
Mexican and Walmart tonight.
Do you remember seeing our bills
But
on the
we're
Mexican
not
statements?
having that.
Do we have a gift card?
What can we sell so we can go to Mexican tonight?
I would have had money if that hooker didn't stand me up for the PS4. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Y'all have a good weekend, and we will see you on Monday. CYOTFS.
Get
Get
your
your
side,
side. Bye.